I've got the book That's Not Funny by David Shannon, and I'm going to tell you all the questions to ask and exactly where to ask them so that when you read this book with your child, you will get all of the important themes and messages. I'm not going to lie, I think this book is pretty complicated and that it is hard to get to the right message. So let's get into it and make sure that we're getting the right messages out of this book. Those messages being subjectivity of humor, testing boundaries, learning rules, empathy, perspective taking, unconditional love, and understanding that, like, what are kids doing when they take jokes too far? What is really going on there? Okay, first question here. This is after David has done a handful of annoying things already. So, character development. Who is the main character? And what is he like? So, David is the main character, and he does some annoying things. He doesn't have any awareness of the social boundaries. He is trying to figure them out, and he is just not nailing it, okay? What you have here is a kid trying to figure out social boundaries and just, like, really not finding those boundaries. Because, yeah, he's working on it. Analyze point of view. How do different characters see the same event differently? Okay, so this is where we can see that he's working on it, and what is he working on? All of the annoying things that he did in the beginning. He slurped spaghetti, so, like, that's gross. He jumped in a pool, he got a bunch of people wet, he drew a funny picture of his teacher. Obviously, these are things that, like, if you're not David, you're gonna see them very differently. Here, he's making a funny joke in class, obviously making things, like, not fun for his teacher that day. Obviously, there's a side that sees things differently than David, but it's important that that side understand that, like, David is just a kid trying to figure out social boundaries, trying to fit in, trying to be an individual, and, like, he's just not nailing it. And we also see empathy for, like, the other side of that joke. You know, like when they were at dinner and he was, like, eating his spaghetti in a pretty disgusting way, or he's at the pool and he splashes people who don't want to get wet, or he's drawing a funny picture of his teacher who's probably already having a difficult day. Here, teacher's giving a lesson, he's just making it hard. So from the third person looking in, it allows a kid to see, like, oh, David is really kind of messing things up for people around him, and he is not making things easier for people around him. And for the adult reading the book, it allows them to see that, oh, David is just trying to fit in. Is he doing a good job at it? No, not yet, but he's learning. So it's building empathy for both sides. See, this book is complicated. Okay, character development. So how does David react to getting in trouble? Here we kind of see, like, as an adult, we can see, like, we can start to empathize with David. Feel bad for him is the wrong way. But how does David react to getting in trouble? He is sad. He doesn't like it. He got kicked out of his classroom. That is not what he wanted. He wanted to be in there. He's trying to fit in. But he still has zero awareness of the consequences of his actions. He has no idea that he made the other people's days much more difficult. But again, as a reader reading this book, like, you can help your child understand that, like, David's actions really made things more difficult for people around him. So as David tries to figure out these social boundaries, you know, he's got to reel it in a little bit. Okay, character development. What lesson has David failed to learn? So this is towards the end of the book. He's chasing, making his mom run after him to put on his pajamas. And we already saw from the previous page, Mom slumped on the couch. Mom is tired. So what has David failed to learn? He has failed to learn to abide by any rules. He has failed to learn any boundaries. He has failed to learn that things that he might find funny are definitely not funny to other people. So he still has zero awareness of how his behavior is impacting others. But again, as the reader, third person looking in, we can see, like, oh, David should give his mom a break. So it can help kids see that these things that kids do that are like, how do I fit in? Where's my social boundary? What's okay? What's not okay? It can help a kid like outside looking in understand that, oh, that is not okay. Okay, central idea. What lesson, moral, or message does the author want the reader to take away? So here, David's like got his feet up on the pillow. He's just being silly. Okay, that's pretty funny. So here, we really kind of start to see empathy building up like for David. Like, okay, yeah, that was kind of funny. So it humanizes him. He is a funny kid. He's a likable kid. And it's important to understand that like he's just trying to figure things out. Has he figured them out by the end of this story? No, but he is just trying to figure them out. And of course, in all of that, you have unconditional love, character relationships. Do the mom's actions show that they love David? How? She squeezes his face, saying goodnight. What am I going to do with you? So we have unconditional love. Even though David throughout the story has kind of been a pain in the butt, we understand where he's coming from. We understand that he's not perfect. He is working on it. And even though he's working on it and it's difficult, Mom still loves him. So you can see that like things difficult for people around him, but at the same time, David is just trying to navigate these social boundaries and like figure out what's okay, what is not okay, what is funny, what is not funny, testing those boundaries, learning those rules, empathy, perspective taking, unconditional love. So there it is. I think that makes it as clear as possible how all of these really cool lessons and themes and morals come out of the book That's Not Funny by David Shannon. So ask these questions when you're reading it with your kid and you will definitely get the most out of reading this book and have a lot of fun when you pick this book up with your kid and read.